Special thanks to Patreon supporter The Spectre for making this tutorial possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Security here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare aircraft tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the AH-1Z Viper. The Bell AH-1Z Viper is an American twin-engine attack helicopter based off the AH-1W Super Cobra that was developed for the United States Marine Corps as part of the AH-1 upgrade program. The AH-1Z features a 4-bladed, bearingless composite main rotor system, uprated transmission, and a new target sighting system. The AH-1Z, one of the latest members of the prolific Bell Huey family, is also called the Zulu Cobra, based off the military phonic alphabet pronunciation of its variant letter. So yeah, the AH-1Z Viper here, a pretty iconic modern helicopter, I would say, in the attack helicopter department. It's based off the iconic Cobra, which we've done a tutorial on before in the past, but basically a Vietnam-era helicopter and Cold War era that has still seen its I guess, resemblance still put into service today. And that right here is the AH-1Z Viper, which is basically the pinnacle upgrade of the Cobra at this point in time. This helicopter is mainly operated by the United States Marine Corps, really from my knowledge only is operated by the United States Marine Corps, and overall is a pretty cool looking helicopter. We have it done up here in the Marine Corps color scheme, obviously, with just usually the light gray, and also it is equipped with its usual missile loadout, or armament loadout, which is a rocket pod and also Hellfire missiles. So has quite a bit of pack-a-punch power and is definitely a pretty powerful little helicopter. Before we go and jump in and take a look at this build, I do want to give a special thanks to Patreon supporter The Spectre for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more, you already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go and put a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so earn a video request of your choosing. It really helps support the work I'm doing on my channel, is really greatly appreciated, so definitely feel free to check that out. Again, link will always be in my video descriptions. With that though, that right there is all I wanted to mention, and let's go and take a look here at this build. This is going to be a redesign, so the previous version of the Viper will be removed after the release of this video, so if you are looking for the old Viper, that will be removed and replaced for this one that is definitely more accurate in comparison to the previous one. Anyways, we have the front cockpit up here, we have the Gatling gun up here, obviously all the front instruments, the cockpit which has the pilot and the gunner, the blade system, which is 4 blades here, the weapon stations here, basically these wings that stick out and have the weapons mounted to it. So we have the rocket pod and then the Hellfire missiles there on the inside. We then have the engines here on both sides, and we come back here, we have the tail, get to the tail rotor, and that's pretty much the tail rotor. But that right there is pretty much an overview of the Bell AH-1Z Viper, and with that, let's go ahead and move into our tutorial by beginning with our first layer, layer number 1. One thing I'd like to go ahead and mention before we move into this tutorial is that if you're completely new to my aircraft tutorials, the way I like to structure these tutorials, I like to do them half on, half off. What this means is rebuilding the entire center line of the helicopter and the entire right side on camera, and then it'll be up to you guys to take the right side, copy it over to the left side. For the most part, this aircraft is symmetrical. There are some parts that are going to be a little bit different, and once those parts are kind of brought up in the tutorial, I will talk about them a little bit more in detail and explain what you guys can do to go ahead and make that basically make the one side that's going to be different from the other side. So just keep that in mind throughout the rest of the build. You'll see basically during the tutorial that one side will be built, the other side won't, and you'll just copy it over and just follow the directions, and it'll be pretty much simple to go. But just want to mention that in case you are new to my aircraft tutorials, the way I like to structure them. Alright guys, so moving into our first layer, we go ahead and begin with layer number 1. Now, a quick few things to mention: if you do want to build this aircraft landed, you'll be building this layer here directly on the ground level. If you want to build this in flight, obviously you'll just build this however high you want. Just make sure you have enough clearance so you're not running to the height limit. But this right here will be the lowest part of your helicopter, so just build it however high you want, and this will be the bottom of that helicopter. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find our center point. So our center point is going to be this row right here. We're going to go and build out to a space of 1 to the side here, and we're going to go and then place down a stone upside down stair like so. So you're going to have basically a space of 3 that'll be between these legs here for the helicopter. So again, we have that space of 3 there. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 iron trapdoors going forward from the iron trapdoor, or for the stone stair like so. And then we're going to place down a dark liquid sign on the side of that iron trapdoor. After that, going back, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 iron trapdoors back, and then a stone upside down stair right here, and then another iron trapdoor coming off the side of that stone stair like so. After that's all done, we're going to then place down a dark oak wood fence gate. That'll be coming off these 2 middle iron trapdoors, so 2 here, and then 2 also right here. We're going to go ahead and then open the fence gates toward each other. So these 2 will be opened up toward that direction, and these 2 open up this way. And we then want to place down 2 zombie heads here coming off of these fence gates on both sides like that for our Hellfire missiles. After that, we'll go ahead and delete any center blocks we have there, and this is what we should have for the top-down view with this layer complete. That right there will conclude everything that there is for layer number 1, and with that, let's go and move on to layer number 2. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to be building our center line, but to go ahead and get to our center line, we're going to go ahead and first begin with by going ahead and placing down a lever. That's going to be on top of this first stone stair here, and then we're going to place down a stone top slab over from that lever, and then 1 stone top slab here in the center, like so. At this point, going forward from this top slab, we're going to place down a piston that's going to be upside down, like so, if you're on Java. If you're on Bedrock or Pocket Edition, I would just place down a stone full block, but this right here is a good technique to use if you're on Java, and I will be talking about that a little bit further once we get into some further layers. After that, though, we're going to go ahead and then place down 2 stone blocks forward from the piston, then a light gray shulker box on its side, followed by a dispenser, and then we're going to place down 3 chains coming off the dispenser like that for the front minigun. With that done, also on the bottom of this first stone block, we're going to place down a lever here, and then an end rod coming off that like that toward the front there, and that will complete our front center line. Go back from that stone top slab there, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more stone top slabs back, a upside down light gray shulker box, 2 stone top slabs, a polished black stone wall, 3 iron trapdoors, and that right there will basically bring us to our back there. Going out to the sides here, we're going to start off by going ahead and going to our dispenser. We're going to place down a skeleton skull like that on both sides. Then we're going to go ahead and go back with 2 stone tops, or 2 stone upside down stairs, then a stone upside down corner stair, and then there's a skeleton skull coming off the side here of this piston. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down an iron trapdoor here, and we're going to go ahead and place down a an end rod that'll be coming off the bottom of a block above there like so. So just go ahead and do that. And then a stone top slab that'll be coming off this one right here, right before that gray shulker box. And we're going to go ahead and just place down a lever that'll be on top of this stair here to both sides. After that, we're going to then take our dark oak wood fence gates, just place down your fence gates on top of the ones from the previous layer out here to the sides. And we're going to go ahead and open these fence gates toward each other. Same thing for zombie heads here, coming off the ends there of those fence gates. We're going to go then grab green terracotta, green shulker boxes, and oak wood trapdoors. We're going to place down 2 green terracotta blocks coming off those fence gates, and then green shulker boxes on both ends, and then dark oak wood, or just normal, oak wood trapdoors coming off both ends like that to go ahead and make your rocket pods on either side of the aircraft. And once you have that all done, that's pretty much it for what we have here. You're going to take what we did on the right side, flip it over to the left side, and this is what you should have for the top-down view with layer 2 all complete. Anyways, with that out of the way, that right there is going to conclude layer number 2, and with that, let's move on to layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to begin with, we're going to place down a stone block that'll be on top of this dispenser like so. Coming off that stone block, we're going to place down a stone upside down stair, and then an upside down polished andesite stair on the front here. Coming off that polished andesite stair, we're going to place down an item frame with a stone block in the item frame like so. Going back from the stone block here, we're going to place down a row of stone that's going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 stone blocks back, just like that. If you're on a different version of Minecraft at this point, we have obviously our pistons here, and we'll be doing 2 different techniques. So if you're on Java, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 3 of pistons upside down. If you're on a different version, I would recommend placing down a stone full block and then 2 stone top slabs instead. So again, stone full block and 2 stone top slabs if you're on Bedrock or Pocket Edition. If you're on Java, are 3 pistons. Anyways, after those blocks there, we're going to place down 2 stone top slabs here, then a stone full block, and then an end rod. Now, one technique we can use on the back here if we're on Java is we can go ahead and actually change the properties here of levers. So we're going to go forward from this end rod, and we're going to go basically diagonal from it to the side here, and we're going to place down a lever that'll be going on the side of this block. So like so. By going ahead and using the command /give appy minecraft debug stick and pressing enter, we'll get this glowing stick that you can see here. By left-clicking the stick, we're going to go ahead and get to selected facing, and it should show a direction. If we right-click the lever while holding shift to crouch, we can go ahead and right-click it until it's facing like this, so it connects up to that end rod and faces upwards like so. If you're on a different version, such as Bedrock or Pocket Edition, you can go ahead and place down a skeleton skull on the end there of the end rod as well. That would work where fence gate opened up, whichever one you think looks best, but the lever there obviously is going to be the best technique to use. While we're at it, we can also go ahead and take our debug stick and go down to the piston here that we placed in the previous layer. By right-clicking that piston, it'll get rid of that wood portion of it and helps us with the sloping there for the front of the helicopter. So that's why we placed down the piston where we did. Anyways though, for the time being, we're going to go ahead and put our debug stick away and we'll continue building to the sides. We're going to place down a light gray stainless pane coming off the side of the stone stair, then an andesite wall back from it, followed by a stone block, a light gray shulker box, another stone block, and another andesite wall. After we have that done, we're going to go ahead and then place down an item frame coming off this glass pane, and in that item frame we're going to place down a black concrete block, and then if you're on Java, a dark liquid sign on the side of that glass pane as well. If you're on Bedrock or Pocket Edition, you'll not be able to place down an item frame and sign in the same block space. If that's the case, just go ahead and place down the item frame and disregard that sign. From this though, we want to go ahead and then place down an item frame on the side of this wall here, and we're going to then place down a stone block in the item frame, like so. And again, same thing, a dark liquid sign on the side there if you're on Java. We also want to go ahead and place down a tripwire hook coming off the side of this stone block here. After that, go into this andesite wall here, we're going to place down a block of concrete, and then an iron trapdoor to the side. Being on Java, we'll go ahead and left click this iron trapdoor until we get selected open false pop up. We're going to right click it and it should close the iron trapdoor to sit flat against the block of concrete. If you're on a different version, I'd recommend going ahead and using a birchwood trapdoor as a work without having to use the debug stick to close it. We're going to go then place down a stone block, then 1, 2, 3 andesite walls, a stone brick wall, 1, 2 andesite walls, a polished blackstone wall, a andesite wall, and then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 light gray stainless panes back. We also want to grab a polished blackstone button, and going to the back here, we're going to place down a polished blackstone button underneath this last stone block right here. Anyways, after that's done, we want to go ahead and then place down a row of 1 stone top slab to the side here, and then it's going to then be a stone upside down stair, and then a stone top slab on the end here. We're going to go ahead and then place down 1, 2, and 3 iron trapdoors there on the back. We're going to place down 2 andesite walls coming off those 2 slabs and iron trapdoors, and we're going to then place down a light gray stainless pane in both directions here of those andesite walls. After that's all done, we are pretty much good to go. One thing we can also do for the front here is we can go ahead and left click our glass pane, and we can go ahead and right click it to change our directions here. So we should have selected in some direction, and then we're going to set that direction to true. It may take some messing around, but basically you want to extend that glass pane to connect up to that item frame, and it just kind of helps make that area look a little bit more complete and a little bit more closed off as it should. Anyways though, that right there is going to conclude everything we have there for this layer. Actually, one quick thing also on the back here is we are going to place down an item frame coming off this andesite wall here, a black bed in the item frame, and then a dark liquid sign on the side there of that wall, like that. And that right there will basically complete everything we have there for layer 3. Let's move on to layer number 4. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to begin with, we're going to place down a stone slab that will go on top of this polished andesite stair here. Then we're going to go ahead and place down a piston directly behind it. We then want to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 black stained glass blocks, and then a row of stone blocks that's going to go back a total of 10 blocks. So 10 blocks back from those black stained glass blocks. And we want to go and then place down a row of stone slabs that's going to go back a total of 8, ending on top of that last piston right there. Then a stone stair, 1 stone full block, an andesite wall, and a light gray stainless pane there on the end there. On the side of this light gray stainless pane, we're going to place down a skeleton skull, and then we're going to then place down 2 stone slabs going forward from the skeleton skull. This first slab closest to the front, we're going to place down 2 more slabs out to the side, and this next section here, we're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 slabs out to the side like so. We then want to go ahead and go to this corner space right here, and we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull at a slight angle like that in that space, like so, by posting down a block underneath there and expanding upon that. After that's all done, going back up to the front here, we're going to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull on the side of this piston, and then we're going to right click the piston to go ahead and downgrade it to like that. If you're on a different version, you can either use an M portal frame, which does stand out a little weird. You can also, as an alternative also, you can use a stair there, a stone stair instead, but again, that daylight detector there is going to be the best for currying the front. After that, though, we want to go and then place down a black stained glass pane to the side here, 2 narrow brick walls, a light gray stained glass pane, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 andesite walls back. We then want to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stone blocks back. And actually, that last stone block is actually going to be replaced with a stone upside down stair. So, stone upside down stair right there. Continuing our way out to the sides, we're going to place down a stone top slab. That'll be coming off the side of this wall here. So, top slab like so. And then a stone upside down stair coming off that top slab going back. And then we're going to go back 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or 3 stone full blocks back. Actually, sorry, only 2. So only 2 stone full blocks back, stone upside down stair, and then a stone top slab, followed by a polished black stone top slab. We're going to then place down 1 polished black stone top slab to the side here, and 1 stone top slab going forward. And we're just going to go ahead and then place down 2 iron trapdoors on the side of these 2 stone blocks here. And using our debug stick, we'll go ahead and close them. Like so. And again, you can use birchwood trapdoors as an alternative. Then for the sides here, we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, and 3 stone pressure plates. Then 1, 2 right here. And then taking our iron trapdoors, we're going to place down 2 on top of those andesite walls, like so. And after we have that all done, that right there is going to conclude layer 4. Taking a look at it from above, this we should have the top-down view with layer 4 complete. And one thing also on the back here is we're going to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull coming off the side of this anvil, this piston right here. That should have been done from the previous layer. I did miss that, so just go ahead and throw that on right now. And also at this point too, the pistons can be right-clicked to go ahead and remove that wood portion there for the pistons on the back. Anyways, though, that right there will conclude everything we have for layer number 4. And with that, let's go ahead and move on to layer number 5. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to begin with, we're going to place down an air brick slab on top of this black stained glass block here. We're going to then place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 black stained glass full blocks back for that air brick slab. We're going to go then place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stone full blocks, and then we're going to place down a piston here on the end. Moving back to our tail, on top of this stone full block, we're going to place down a stone stair, and then we're going to place down 2 stone full blocks back from that stone stair like so. With that done, going back up to the front, we're going to start working our way out to the sides. On the left side and left side only, we're going to place down a end rod on top of this skeleton skull, and again, that's going to be on the left side only. We're going to go then place down a row of 1 and 2 of black stained glass panes on those 2 blocks, and then we're going to place down an end rod here, and then a black stained glass pane here, and then a skeleton skull that'll be on this block, or that wall right there. After that, we're going to go then take our light gray stained glass panes. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 back, followed by a stone block, then a stone stair like so, or sorry, actually rather like that, then a black concrete block, a stone block, and then another piston like so. Continuing our way out to the sides, we're going to place down a stone upside down stair on top of that stone block like so. We're going to go then place down a black concrete block behind that, then a stone stair here, another black concrete block, another stone block, and another piston like that. And then at the very end here of that this row here, we're going to place down a polished black stone slab. Then to the sides, we're going to place down a stone slab here and a polished black stone slab. We're also going to go and take our iron trapdoors, place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, using our debug stick here, we'll go ahead and close those 4 trapdoors along the side. In addition, these pistons here can be swapped out to, or be debug sticked as well by right-clicking. Again, and a good alternative would probably be to use stone stairs instead of those pistons. After that, we pretty much have everything done for this layer. One thing I would like to also mention for those of us with a debug stick is we can actually go ahead and change the properties here of these glass panes to go ahead and extend them toward the end rod and toward that skeleton skull. So we'll just go ahead and kind of change the directions and kind of cause the item frames to kind of expand out to the sides, taking up that block space, and it kind of helps clean this area up a little bit better, and again, helps with that flow for the cockpit. Anyways, though, that right there is going to conclude everything we have there for layer number 5, and with that, let's move on to layer number 6. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 6. For layer 6, to get started with, here to place down a dark oak trapdoor on top of this second black stained glass block. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 daylight detectors back, turn those to night mode, a stone slab, 3 stone full blocks, a polished andesite block, a stone block, a stone stair, and then a weird skeleton skull coming off that stair. Then going to the vertical stabilizer, we're going to place down a stone stair on top of this stone block here, a second stone block back from the stair, and then a light gray stained glass pane after that to go ahead and make your vertical stabilizer. With that done, going back up to the front, we're going to go and work our way out to the sides. We're going to go ahead and start off by placing down a item frame, which will be on the sides here of this stone block. And then in that item frame, we're going to place down a light gray bed like so. We're going to go then place down an iron trapdoor like so, come off that stone block like that. And we're going to go then place down an iron trapdoor on this stone block here, followed by a ladder on the side of this stone block, then an iron trapdoor on top of this black concrete block, and then a rail going back from the iron trapdoor like so. We're also going to place down iron trapdoors on top of these two black concrete blocks as well, like that out to the sides. With that done, going back up here to the front, we're going to go ahead and place down a block that kind of goes up into the side here from this end rod. We're going to use our same technique we did on the back here by placing down a lever. We're going to go ahead and this time, however, we're left click it till we get selected face wall. We're going to go ahead and right click and have it set to face the floor. By left clicking again, we're going to go ahead and then change the direction by going ahead and altering the selected facing. By right clicking and holding crouch, we can go ahead and rotate the lever to face toward the outside here, and then coming off of it, we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull. Again, a good alternative if you found a different version is to place down a dark oak fence gate on top of that end rod and open it toward the wither skeleton skull like that. Either way, either of those will work, but obviously this one here again could be the best option. With that though, that is going to do it for layer number 6, and with that, let's move on to our last final layers. Alright guys, moving into our final layers here, we have layers 7 through 9. For these layers to begin with, we're going to place down an andesite wall on top of this stone block here. We then want to go ahead and place down a anvil that will be in this section here behind this. We're going to go then place down a stone upside down stair like this to both sides of that anvil. We also want to go and take this time to remove the iron trapdoor that's on the right side. That is going to be only on the left side of the aircraft, so just make sure that that iron trapdoor is removed. From this, we're going to place down another stone upside down stair going back on both sides, and then a stone full block here in the center. We're going to go then place down a polished black stone wall, skeleton skull to both sides, and then a iron trapdoor on top of this stone block here. We're going to go then place down a polished black stone wall on top of the anvil, and then coming off of it to all four sides, we're going to place down a dark oak fence gate, followed by a polished black stone top slab, which we'll just grab from over here real quick. So you have polished black stone top slab coming off of each one of these fence gates. After that, we want to go and then place down a wither skeleton skull here on the center block like that, and then a polished black stone pressure plate on top of these dark oak fence gates. After that, we're going to then place down a stone button that will be on top of each one of these slabs, just like that for the top there. And that right there will do it for our top section there. We'll go ahead and move back to the tail. Real quick before we move on to the tail rotor, I want to go ahead and also mention that on the left side here, coming off the skeleton skull, coming off that stair, we're going to place down the skeleton skull and then a lever coming off of it going forward. And that right there will be up there for the front, and that will complete our rotors, or that will complete this kind of front section. Let's move on to our tail rotor. And going ahead and moving into the tail section. We're going to start off by placing down a black concrete block on top of this stone block right here. We're going to place down an item frame to the right side here, a black concrete block in the item frame, and a dark oak sign over that again if you're on Java. We'll place down a lever on the side here facing toward the rear, with a lever facing or flicked downwards like so. We're going to then build out to the side here with a dark oak wood fence gate, like so. A skeleton skull that will be on both sides of the fence gate, and then we're going to place down a polished black stone wall here on the very end. Now, coming off this polished black stone wall, we're going to place down an item frame, a black concrete block, and then a dark oak wood sign like that on the side of it. We're going to go up at an angle from all four corners with two andesite walls going down diagonally. And this right here will create our rear rotor. And we're just going to do this for the back there like so. At this point, we're going to go and then place down a birchwood button on top of this block. And then once we have that done, we are pretty much good to go for this. Just trying to make sure there's nothing I'm missing and everything does appear to be good. I will take this time, however, to go ahead and use our give command to go ahead and give us our debug stick. So the command we used earlier, or if you still have your debug stick, pull it out. And if we're on Java, we can go ahead and actually extend the sides here of these walls. And we're going to extend them to the sides that will be basically front to back, and we're going to extend them to tall. So like that. And it'll kind of make a full block there, and it kind of looks a little bit nicer there in terms of connection like that, and makes this tail rotor look a little bit better in my opinion. But yeah, that right there is going to pretty much do it for everything we have there for layers 7 through 9. And that right there will pretty much complete all that. Last thing we have left for this tutorial is going to be the rotors, showing you guys how to do the landed and in-flight rotors. So with this, we're going to start off with the in-flight rotors. If you are wanting to build the landed rotors, go ahead and skip ahead, looking at the time encoder bar, and skip ahead to the chapter that does cover the landed rotors. With that though, let's go ahead and move on to the in-flight ones. Alright guys, so moving on to our rotors. Now for our in-flight rotors, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of coming off this polished blackstone top slab of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 polished andesite top slabs. We're going to go then build a block out to the side here, kind of diagonally, 2 blocks like so, and we're going to place down 2 skeleton skulls coming off the side of those blocks. And that's going to be the right side here of the blade. So if you look at the center here, and look to the right side, that's right there is where it's going to, the skeleton skulls are going to lean toward. And we're just going to do the same thing here for basically each of our blades. So our next blade here to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 polished andesite top slabs. Again to the right side here of this row, we're going to place down 2 blocks, 2 skeleton skulls come off those blocks, and it'll look just like that coming off the side there. You're going to take the same design, flip it around for the other 4 blades, and once you have that done, this is what your blades will look like. You'll have your blades completed like so. With that all out of the way though, that is going to conclude what we have there for our in-flight rotors, and with that, let's go ahead and move on to our landed ones. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our landed rotors. So our landed rotors here are going to basically be drooped downwards. To build them, pretty simple. We're going to be going ahead and going off of our forward facing one. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 polished andesite top slabs coming off this polished blackstone top slab. We're going to drop down to 1, 2, 3 polished andesite half slabs. Then 3 iron trapdoors coming off those slabs, then 3 iron trapdoors on the bottom of those iron trapdoors, a polished andesite top slab coming off this one, and then 2 wither skeleton skulls coming off the side here. These wither skeleton skulls will be built basically going off this polished andesite top slab at an angle, these 2 black concrete blocks, and we're going to place down our 2 skeleton skulls there on the side of those blocks. So it will basically look something just like that. Anyways though, once we have that done, we're going to then go to our basically our right side and do the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop down to a row of 3 of slabs. So you have 4 top slabs, 3 half slabs, 1, 2, 3 iron trapdoors, then 1, 2, 3 on the bottom, then 1 top slab here, and then we're going to place down our 2 skeleton skulls to the right side like so. We're going to take the same design, rotate it around for all 4 blades, and we'll have the lander version of the aircraft complete for the tutorial. Anyways though, that right there will conclude my tutorial here for the landed and in-flight versions of the AH-1Z Viper. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you do end up using this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This will be linked from the side of the build, tweet to my channel or this video if this does appear in social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for it, you're free to use a favorite project you guys are working on overall. Enjoy the build, have fun with it, all that fun stuff. With that though, again, a big special thanks to Patreon supporter of the Spectre for making this tutorial possible, and as always, feel free to check out my Patreon page, link is always in my video descriptions. And with that, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.